Hi, I'm Barry Gross, the pen turning teacher, and today I'm going to show you how I use Berea's new curing resin to fill a hole in a Kallenshaan laser inlay kit. So let's go over here to the other camera and I'll show you how to do this. All right, now we've switched cameras over here. The UV resin has three components: the UV resin, the light, okay, to activate it, and the safety glasses. I'm going to put the safety glasses on now because that's what I need to do, because I want my eyes to be protected. And so now all I'm going to do with this, I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you can see it a little better, is I'm going to fill in my hole here with a drop of the UV resin like this. And then I'll hit it with the activator like that. And it doesn't take long for this to activate, probably, 4 or 5 seconds, and it's dry. And so I'm going to turn this off and I'll put in another coat because I want to make sure that I've got it filled up good enough. And I can come right back with this and turn this almost immediately. Well, I will turn it. So you can see this activates very quickly. I needed something to be clear in here because I have a little background for this guitar inlay kit. And so I wanted something clear, and I know this works pretty good. So that's why I decided to use this. All right, let me take a look at this. That looks all right. I may put another coat up here, make it just a little bit higher because I want to turn this down. Get it in there and get it on right away. And what it did too is this will, since it's a resin, it's going to kind of magnify what I have in there underneath. And I've got my logo underneath this. So when the kit's done, so when the pen is done, it looks really nice, like it's custom with the logo in there. Okay. So I think I'm looking at it from the side. It looks pretty good there. And if it's not, we can always come back and redo it a little bit. Now this is completely dry. Now it feels waxy, but it's completely dry. So now we're going to go over here. We're going to put it on the lathe. And I'm going to switch cameras and put it up here. So here this comes in here now. I'm going to put this on here like that. And if I wanted to, I could also, just to make sure everything is completely dry on this, turn this over and just hit it again like that. Okay, so at this point, I'm going to turn this. And you'll see that it came up really, let me take off my glasses. Bring my tool rest in here. And notice I'm using a really small tool rest. And I'm going to use a skew to take this down. I'm just taking this down real lightly. This is going to be a Sierra pen. I'm going to take it down to the bushings. Come back in this direction. Let's see what we've got. Turn this off. Ooh, that looks good. That filled in really nicely. And we're going to polish this up. So I'm going to continue turning this, get it down to the bushings, and then I'm going to put a CA finish on it, and I'll show you what it looks like when we're finished. Okay, so now I've got my piece all sanded, ready to go. I'm going to put a little cloth behind this like this so you can see it a little better, okay? And so I'm using a CA finish on this I'm going to turn the speed down to about 200 or so. And I'm going to use this brand of CA, the Super T. I'm going to put a big drop on just like this. I'm going to work it back and forth real slowly. I've got non-stick bushings on here, so the glue doesn't stick to my bushings. So here's the first coat. I usually use about 6 coats on this. So there's the first coat. And now I'm just going to drip a little bit on here like this, rather than put it on the paper towel. So this is coat number 2. Here's coat number 3. And I put a generous amount on there. You see that. This is medium CA glue. I don't stop and sand in between coats. I don't do any of that. I just put it on just like this, just like you see it here. All right. I'm going to stop this a second to show you what it looks like as of right now. See how that just comes up really nicely? All right, I'm going to pause this. I'm going to finish the CA finish, and then I'll come back to this. All right, we're back now, and I finished, putting the rest of the CA, the 6 coats on. I took 1 grit of like 320, and I've sanded it really smooth to get all the little wrinkles out of it. And now I'm going to wet sand it. And I'm going to use these pads. These are specifically designed to polish acrylics. There's only 3 of them, and they're double-sided, okay? This is 600, 800, 1500, 24, 4000, and 12,000. Since this is so smooth, I'm not going to use the 6 or 800. I'm going to start with 1500. I've got some water here, and I'm just going to dip this in water, turn the lathe back on full speed, about 2,500 RPM. And I'm going to start to wet sand this. Let me get some pressure from the tailstock. That would help. Now I want the slurry on here. That's this white stuff that's appearing, okay? That's what I want on there because that's what's helping polish this. Wipe this off. Go to the next pad, 2,400. And use these wet. $4,000. And 12,000. A little drop of scratch remover. You don't need much. A little bit on there. Dry spot on the towel. And there's your piece ready to be buffed. Okay, I buff everything because it gets out all the little minute scratches that are in there. Okay, so I'm going to take out my mandrel, put in the buffing wheel like this. And I'm going to back this up a little bit so you can see a little better. So this is a cotton muslin wheel. This is a cotton flannel wheel. The blue rouge that's on there is finer than white diamond by 2 steps. So all I'm going to do is just do this for about 8 to 10 seconds. It gets all the minute scratches out of there. This one has no rouge on it, but it still has abrasive qualities. To buff this, I mean, it really makes a difference with your pieces. Okay, and there's your piece. Look at the shine on that. It really is screaming. Okay, now I'm going to assemble this, and then I'll show it to you as a finished piece. Okay, we've assembled this, and now you can see how nice this looks. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this in real tight so you can see the what we did with this by putting the Berea UV curing resin in the center here. it really made a difference. I'm going to get this a little closer so you can really see this. See how it magnified the logo on the inside? So it came out perfectly clear. It's beautiful. All right. So that's another avenue to use the casting resin, or I'm sorry, the curing resin. Sorry. Okay, so that's it. Thanks very much. And again, I'm Barry Gross, the pen turning teacher.